storyline like this, at least kind of building. If you've never played the game, the story alone, would make you interested. But if you've already played the game, it would only intrigue you to either keep playing it or go back to it if you want to wait, because it's a good storyline. It's really, really good, and they've got some good talent. They got the lady that died. She's always in some Star Trek thing. She was in Star Trek Discovery. So
Oh, really?
yeah. She was like in the early things of Star Trek Discovery, early episodes. Um, well, of course, we've talked about Haley already. She's just all over. She's just all over it, all over the map with it right now.
Yeah, Haley's doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
I'm just in awe of like the character progression of Powder to Jinx. Because I didn't want to say anything, but when I saw the music video for the show, I was like, I saw like her grow up, and I was like, why does she look so radically different?
Right.
And now, of course, I know.
Oh, you know who I realized I'm looking at IMDb and I just realized who Jace is. Jace is the dude Espinoza from Lucifer.
Yep.
I did not know that. That is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I love the time jump. I love the time jump from the last episode because it showed like the progression of the evolution of the technology from what Jason's decision was. But it's not just that technology. Also, the solution that Silco was working on had a terrible effect on the underground. Like the underground, I mean, it fell under, literally. Deeper than it was.
It was kind of like it was always like a race where the underground was just trying to keep up with and try to get as equal as the folks top side. But once he got the hex tech going, it was they just took off. It was like there was no way. And what I find what's so interesting, what's so karma for me is that Silco went through all that trouble and ended up killing Vander, who was only trying to keep all the peace, only now to run an area that's basically been almost completely left behind. Completely left behind. But I want to see more of this, of the actress that plays
Powder.
No. Yes, her too, but Medarda, the black woman. Her name, I think her name is Tox Olagundoye.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she's like half Nigerian, half Norwegian.
Wait, do I know that? What have I seen?
She looks familiar. I just don't know what I've seen her in. I mean, I'm sure I've seen her.
So she, okay. So she was in Steven Universe. Got it. Yeah, she's doing really, like, her character design is probably one of the most coolest. I don't know if I can really trust her yet because it seems like she's got a little bit of blood on her ledger, low key.
I don't remember. Do you remember Zamfir from Castlevania? The Netflix
like
one?
the second season, I remember that character name.
That's her. That's the same person playing Medarda.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But in terms of the way that every character is not, they got some blood under their hands. All honesty. I mean, Vi technically ain't really killed nobody, but Vi been in prison for X amount of time. She willing to put hands on anybody.
Like, but Vi's been.
She's got a code to her.
Well, yeah, but Vi, I think the quote unquote blood on her hands was her abandoning her sister. Basically, like she didn't mean to, but she basically did. Like right after Vander told her, take care of her. So everybody's got something.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got something. Powder has the basically the whole unit on her hands. You
Yeah.
know, killing them even though all she did was try to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jace doesn't have anything on his hands yet, but he's going to eventually because I feel when he develops that I don't want to say weapon because they don't intend it as a weapon, but they're gonna be weapons.
I
That
mean,
hand and basically that hand and that other tool that Victor was using, that's when he's really gonna pay the ultimate price.
so the funny thing is, I do put blood on his ledger because yes, Powder used it as a weapon, but he created it. And
Right.
it was kind of like, oh, dude told him, like, look, you need to shut this down, like, completely right now, because I know where this is headed. And it's kind of like, because he started all this, it all started with them raiding him that brought us to the point that we're at right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like, all
Yeah.
this death, I don't know that he's taking ownership of, because he's so busy trying to, catch the future, that he hasn't looked behind him and seen, oh wow, those
Well, I
kids
don't
use this,
even.
and this
Yeah,
death
I can
happened
see
because
your
of
point
me.
there. Yeah.
I don't even think he's noticed it, because
What I find interesting with him is he has basically diverted from the path that he had been working on for so long. He was basically trying to recreate magic and control it with technology, but I think he was a kid that wanted to be able to do the same thing that the mage did that saved him and his mother's life.
yeah, yeah,
That's
he felt
basically all he wanted to do.
it's like a
Once
life
he
debt that he's
right,
trying to repay.
right. Once he got there, it was like it became, political. It became he's basically Steve Wozniak in the midst of, Apple. All he wants to do is make computers. That's it. He wasn't looking for the money, the fame. He just wanted to make a good computer. That's
Right,
all this dude really wanted to do. He just wanted to make technology that can better people. But when the vampires are at the gate, when the bloodthirsty vampires are at the gate, that's kind of when you're on to something. And he
right,
didn't realize he knew what he wanted. He knew the potential for what it could be, but he never considered what it could potentially be in the wrong hands.
right,
Which is what Heimdigger tried to tell him. He wasn't trying to shoot him down. But the problem with Heimdigger is Heimdigger looks at everything from someone who can live an exuberant long life.
yeah,
For him, a decade is nothing.
right,
He's 307 plus years old. For him, a decade is nothing. For these folks, a decade is basically, the determination of where you are in your life.
right. Some of them are like, I don't like, like Victor. He's like, I'm not gonna live that long. I don't have much longer to live. Um,
Right.
but yeah, nah. I mean, even like a character like Victor, that I was like, oh, okay, this is his partner. Like, no, they even gave him character progression. Like, every single character that was introduced in the first one, if they lived, were progressed further. And even certain characters that died, like, some of their story arcs were progressed as well. I'm just I'm really caught off guard by how messed up in the head Powder slash Jinx really is. Like, she's a genius when it comes to technology. She's an amazing shot. Like, she's developed and honed her skills, but her mind is just so volatile that you're right. I mean, you kept on saying it's a mixture of Harley Quinn and the Joker all day.
Right.
Um, but yeah, nah.
Yeah, it's a good series so far. I don't know if it doesn't it I'm interested to see some. I'll probably go online and see some League of Legends play, but I probably won't. pick it up, because those League of Legends, those are like the whole MMORPGs, and I don't really have a lot of time to get into some of those. Destiny is enough, and I barely do that.
Right. I will say this: if they end this strong enough, I would like to see this progress into a spinoff. Even if they decide, okay, the second season Arcane, seeing where these girls go, but a spinoff of like taking Jace's character and where he goes next, or who's the other legends that they're gonna kind of
right. I don't even think they would. I don't even think they should probably do Jace or the girls after that. They should probably bring in. I would think it'd be cool to bring in 2 new League of Legends origins, and then kind of incorporate the rest of the group into a couple episodes.
Right.
Or build up a couple of the League of Legends characters' origins, and then do like a whole free-for-all where they all kind of intertwine and battle in some way, shape, or form.
Right. Where do you predict this going? Do you think they're gonna do a time jump? Do you think any of the characters are gonna die?
The way they ended it, I don't think they're gonna do a time jump. Because Jinx, I know Jinx is gonna go after her sister, and she's probably gonna raise all of the underground to get to her. That seems too immediate, because the way the other 3 episodes, and the way the third episode ended, it was Vi got captured. Jinx is in the arms of Silco, Vander's gone, and Jace is basically it was like their whole world came down around them, and while their whole world is coming down, Jace's whole world just came all the way up. So a time jump would be appropriate there, because it leaves room to figure out, well, what happened between that 3rd and 4th episode? What had they been through? This is too immediate. Like, both girls, Caitlyn and Vi, are captured. Vi sees Jinx. Vi sees Powder basically as Jinx for the first time. The way she handled that rail gun, all that stuff. Silco, of course, is still living, and because now they've been captured by the Fireflies, I'm thinking like you. That main guy is the black kid, and it's probably going to lead into some kind of revolutionary thing against the top side, for some of the same equal stuff. Or what it'll lead to is Vi and Jace and Jinx and all of them just kind of battling and going at it, because he's trying to protect the top side of the city,
right?
But their biggest threat is right under him. So it's gonna probably be like a League of Legends battle.
It definitely is gonna end up by that at some point. I just I do know that Vi needs some gauntlets, and I didn't think about it because it was just so fast and how quick they did it. But remember when Victor and Jace showcased that gauntlet?
Yep, I was thinking that as soon as I saw it, I was like, that Vi would turn those into a weapon.
Bruh, like, she would be the perfect, like, honestly, if she got those, she might be unstoppable, honestly.
Right. If she got those, she would be the perfect catalyst for Heimdinger's point. That in the wrong hands.
Right.
Well, all right, man. Let me float on out of here. I had to put the little one down, but it's a great. I'm looking forward to the last 3 episodes. Looks really good, and just got one more week.
Oh yeah. I definitely might. I might take this. Us talking. I might use this as my review. Right.
Cool.
Too.
Cool. I consent.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else to go on. I mean, I want the next few episodes. I think that's my only problem right now. Like, I need to see where this is gonna end. But
yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go back because it picked up so well at the end. I'm gonna go back and see the parts that I slept on, because it was kind of a slow drag for me. I wasn't used to the slow drag
Yeah,
because
they
all
use
the other episodes kind of picked up. I mean, they just didn't drag. There were some dead spots, but the episodes had always something to keep you engaged. This one in the middle just didn't have it for me. But
yeah,
near the end, oh yeah, I was ready.
yeah, they were doing a lot of exposition in the third episode and trying to build some foundational things, which I'm glad they did because it reinforced a lot of the characters' problems and introduced some brand new ones. Because now I don't know where Silco is gonna look at Jinx. Is he gonna turn his back on her? Is he gonna still need her? I mean, technically he needs her, right? Because she's developing the weapon that he needs.
Right. She is.
So
She is, but the thing is, she's developing the weapon that he needs, but she just lost the main piece of it.
true, and she's a liability because he gave her up, technically. So
Did he give her up?
yeah, that was her tech.
Right, but he was blaming it on the fireflies.
I guess.
Remember?
But
He was blaming it on the fire. Basically, it was her tech. He wasn't really giving her up, but he was saying that the fireflies were the ones that did the attack. But because remember, it's only Caitlyn that realized that Jinx was Vi's sister and recognized that she's the one who did, who did the bombing attack, But as far as the guard is concerned, they're going after Caitlyn and Vi and the Fireflies.
yeah. Yep. Well,
although I wouldn't. Yeah, because I don't think what's his name, Marcus has enough balls to go and take out Jinx because he knows he'd have to deal with Silco later on. Because like you said, Jinx is developing that stuff for Silco.
Yeah. It's just so much miscommunication, so many political issues. Like it's just such a good story, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like it's
very
beautiful,
Game of Thrones. Yeah,
and it's action, but the story is so interesting that I mean you can't help but I don't know. Even though Act 2 had a lot more talking than action, like the show's still a 10 out of 10 at this point, unless they have to do something bad to.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. I'm. It's holding for me right now at a 10 out of 10, but they have to do something really bad. Because they and the thing is, even with the slowdown in episode 6, the way it kind of picked all back up, it was like kind of worth that drag a little bit. So they would have to do something monumentally bad, equivalent to some kind of ending where it's kind of unfulfilled. I don't even, and the thing is, you can do a cliffhanger ending for this show if you're trying to do more episodes, which is great. But the cliffhanger can't be something like, I just watched 9 episodes and this is all I got at the end, like that kind of thing. Like it's got to be, that will drop it. That will probably give it a significant hit. That's at least 3 or 4 points for me. So you would have to do it. The show would have to do something monumentally bad for it to come out of that 10 out of 10 rating for me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about sacrifice and breaking outside your comfort zone. Like, I'm not saying I want somebody to die, but in a story like this, it's unfiltered. So it's kind of like I never would have predicted that Jinx would have pulled her freaking whatchamacallit to have a beacon for her sister to come. I never would have predicted that. That would never be something I would have thought that would have ever happened based on how we know her psychological profile is. But then I question, why did she bring her sister there? Was she trying to kill her sister? I don't know.
No, I think I don't think that's what it was. I think she is traumatized by what she did. And even though she told, even as a little girl, she told Silco she's not my sister anymore, blah, blah, blah. No, I think remember, I think she was still broken. Like her life stopped when all those folks died and her sister walked away from her. And even though her sister tried to come back, she didn't know that her sister was captured. But from her perspective, all she wanted to do was help. When what she really should have done is listen to her sister, but all she wanted to do was help. And she never realized the consequences of her actions. And it broke her. Like it literally broke her. And then at the end, even when all she had left was her sister walked away from her. So that literally was her mental snap. So the only way she can even get back on some resemblance of back to somewhat decent, I won't say normal because she'll never be that again, but somewhat decent, she has to make that reconciliation with her sister. And then I think for her, it was the fact that when her sister hugged her and said, hey, I'm so sorry. I tried to come back, but I got captured. I got arrested. Like when she told her all that, I think that kind of, I think that was probably part of that healing process. That was part of whatever part of her mind that shattered, that was her putting those pieces back together. Because she probably wasn't expecting her sister to do that, because when her sister walked up and just hugged her and apologized and told her all the stuff that happened and that how she regret calling her a Jinx, that was just, but but the issue is that that mental break is now layered. It's layered because she can start healing the pieces, but those pieces are also now covered with Silco. She's been under Silco for like 5-6 years or whatever. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
And it's kind of like, technically that's still Vi's responsibility. Like, Vanda told her, like, look, take care of your sister. And it's kind of like, even though she may forgive, like, Jinx may forgive herself, but she might not be able to forgive her sister. You know what I'm saying? Because, she's a grown woman at this point and making a choice of her own life, but some of this was out of her control.
Well, actually, I think it's the other way around. I think Jinx can forgive her sister. I think once Jinx starts healing and finally coming back to, like I said, somewhat decent, she's probably not going to be able to forgive herself, because then she will truly realize that had she just listened to her sister, her other friends would not be dead.
Yeah, but you're right. If we're going off of another anime series that we talked about, Tokyo Revengers, there's another character the same exact thing happened. And like he just switched that little part of his brain. Like, I can't accept this. No, it's obviously your fault. No.
Right.
No.
Yeah, that was that. Oh God, that dude was off the chain. Because I'm like, yo, dude, clearly this is your fault. How and that, but that's the thing about. But you see, that's not the same. He is not the same as Jinx, because Jinx is traumatized and still dealing with the demons of what happened. But in the back of her mind, I know in the recesses of her mind, she knows that this is her fault. She knows, even though her sister will forgive her and understands that all she did was try to help, at the end of the day, Jinx knows that what she did killed their friends. But dude on Tokyo Revengers, he had a mental break just like her, but from the moment he had that break, it was like, not only is it the boss's fault, it's his job to kill the boss. Like it was like I am the like what do they tell you? Every villain is the hero of their own story. Like he literally fabricated his own story. Like I gotta kill the boss because it's his fault. You
Right.
know, and it's like it's his fault because he convinced them to serve under him. He was the youngest of the group, but they all followed him. They decided to follow him. Had he not, it wasn't even a, had they not just made the decision to be like, dude, you're crazy. I'm not getting in this. He basically was like, if he had not convinced us, if he had not come and manipulated us,
Right.
My boy wouldn't be dead. His brother wouldn't be dead. Because I'm like, how in the world are you blaming? How in the world are you blaming this dude for you killing his brother? Yes, this guy.
Right.
Like you can, and what I love is how they drew his eyes. His eyes just
Faded.
gleam
It's
crazy,
faded.
just straight crazy. He's got that look. The one eye by itself is like, dude, I will kill you in a heartbeat. That's how that dude looks.
He
You
did.
know.
He definitely did. I mean, I think even the design of I guess we can call her Jinx at this point. Like her
Hmm.
design, it's the same thing. It's like there's a part that's just gone.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. Her design is a slow. It actually, if you were to take pictures of her from as Powder as a kid all the way up to Jinx, including this one, you
mhm.
can see in the eyes it's a slow progression of her dip into insanity.
Yeah, I found this. I thought this was really dope. You see the
Oh yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
girl.
Right. It's
The
vibe. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Dude, like you literally see her you literally see her spiral through her eyes into her own insanity, you
right.
know.
It's
So
sad though because like when we saw the very opening shot of the first episode, it's kind of like we know she was already messed up. Like
hmm.
she was the one that was singing, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this little girl's mixed up, messed up. We just
Hmm.
didn't anticipate where I think she's gonna get worse, dude. Be honest with you, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that.
Oh,
I
I
think she's
think
gonna get worse than where she is right now.
I think in the end, her and her sister are gonna fight.
Yeah,
Her and her sister are gonna battle. She's going to her sister is trying to get her back to Powder, and she's gonna be like, Powder's gone. I'm Jinx, and you know, you gotta go. And they're just going battle.
yeah, because
Yeah.
she's already talking to herself in the third person, talking to these other people that aren't living. And
Hmm.
I think what's gonna be the catalyst is gonna really mess her up. And I think we saw it. You said it. Is the law enforcement girl. It seems like
Hmm.
Vi is really vibing with this girl,
And
and
she thinks she's being replaced.
yes, and it
Right.
goes back to they both saw what these enforcers did to their parents. How
Hmm.
dare she even think to be
Of
involved?
associating, right.
Right. So I think that that's gonna be the ultimate catalyst. Like I could see Jinx just killing that girl off rip.
Yep.
And then it'd be like, you know what? That's it. We're done.
Yeah. For no reason. Like, why would you kill her? Because she's an enforcer.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's it. Like, she's
Right.
an enforcer. She's the enemy. You know.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna
All
let you
right,
go.
man.
Get your little one down.
No doubt.
Oh, I wanted to show you something. Hold up. Let me end this broadcast. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. We went down a long path. I apologize, but hopefully you enjoyed it.
Mm.